Every journey begins with one small step. In 1978, a young man embarked on one such remarkable journey. A journey that overcame obstacles and created a legacy. A legacy of being one of India's top real estate company. A legacy by the name of Raheja Developers.
My mother used to tell me that तेरे को मैंने देश के लिए पैदा किया है. So that thing kept on touching me. It touches me even today. Resonance comes in my head.
With an agency for Vijay Super Scooters in 1978, this destiny began to unfold.
And that also the experiment was with the scooter which had already failed in the Indian market. So quite challenging. Most of the scooter agencies had at that time closed down. I was just at that time, I had to take on the challenge to revive the product and to sustain myself and to grow. I came out, I was successful in bringing up the sales to over a few 100% up within a few months.
Failure followed initial success, but that didn't stop the journey, merely changed its direction.
Moved on to buy a piece of land for my personal residence that was in South Delhi. I had a 6-month agreement to make the payment, and within 3 to 4 months, I was offered double the price within the agreement period itself. So I decided to make it free by selling half of it. That gave me the taste of money and growing, the lucrative real estate market in the country. So there I started rotating initially my investments by understanding the market dynamics, that which one is the next area where I should put in money and take out money.
Sensing an opportunity, Mr. Naveen Raheja got into land business by trading and accumulating 172 acres of land in Gurgaon in mid-80s.
In 1989, for the first time, I studied the NCR master plan and could make out that the area around Sector 57 in Gurgaon is going to be the next area where development will take place. So at that time it was a green area. Farmhouse colony could be carved as per the bylaws. You could sell farmhouses in that area. So I moved on by taking help of another 2 partners, moved on to develop the farmhouse colony. And there I aggregated land and moved on for licensing. That was my first venture.
As a result, Raheja Developers was incorporated in 1990. A period that brought immense learning in terms of alliances and leadership. Following his heart, Mr. Naveen Raheja decided to venture on his own sometime in the mid-90s. Far off from the city, he took up the challenging job of putting up the Pine Garden project on the steep hills of Nainital.
I didn't think about the logistic part of it, that when I do construction, how it will happen. I missed out with the sheer location, its beauty and all, but failed to correctly understand that while this site is beautiful, construction will be equally difficult.
Another project, another roadblock, but in his words, another learning experience. Capitalizing on this learning experience, Mr. Naveen Raheja took his company from one success to another, and today Raheja Developers is one of the leading business houses of the country.
My main thesis topic, when I remember now, was actually housing, and that was always dear to my heart. I'd seen this embroiled into my in my blood, since the beginning. Being born in a family, being raised on construction sites, spending summer holidays on actual building sites. That is how the whole journey started.
Based on few sound values, Atlantis was the flagship project, marking arrival of Raheja Developers into Major League.
It was a big project, but I knew I'll do it. So we did it on time. I'm happy that my customers liked it. So that's how we are able to move forward. It was awarded the best residential project in India by CNBC Awards, CRISIL CNBC Awards.
The company today is working in diverse segments such as group housing projects, commercial complexes, malls, multiplexes, hotels, and development of townships. Earning trust and confidence of iconic business houses like Tata for the ambitious Raisina residency in Gurgaon.
It was a joint venture project where both Raheja and Tata came in and brought in their expertise and their respective expertise and presented a product that was again a first of its kind in the Gurgaon market. It was beautiful because it was also right on the ridge, on the edge of the ridge, so you had a great opportunity to create a product which could have great views of the mountains and the Aravalli Valley right around the project. Plus, it was targeted at the ultra-luxury consumer.
A remarkable growth based on sound principles. The company crossed another milestone in 2007 as it turned its system digital. Incorporating ideas like monitoring every side through cameras and posting monthly project updates on YouTube, allowing end consumers to log in and check the current status of the project, and regular account updates.
How trends are changing in the recent times is that it's become a two-way channel. Whereas you talk about your product, the consumer can actually come back to you and tell you what he wants at the same time. Keeping these things in mind, there's a lot of investment that we are doing in getting all our platforms streamlined, to have a global connect. Our consumer today comes from not only Delhi NCR, although our products are mostly in the Delhi NCR region, the consumers are coming from India and from around the globe.
Today, the company is one of the largest in the real estate industry with projects all over India, with executable and sanctioned projects over 60 million square feet in hand. The company has so far executed and delivered 29.5 million square feet of residential and commercial projects, along with Arab Tech, the makers of Burj Khalifa in Dubai, and ECC. Raheja Developers is working with a few other leading construction companies of the world to bring in a series of landmark properties to NCR. These iconic structures have the distinction to be amongst the tallest residential towers in Gurgaon and New Delhi. An acquired confidence that reflects in our current endeavor to build Raheja Aranya, one of the biggest integrated township in Gurgaon.
Interesting thing that we did on a few of these sites was that instead of building a sort of a column beam structure and filling it in with bricks, we said, why not instead build the entire walls in concrete, and roofs, slabs, were actually being cast on ground in molds and picked up with a crane and put on top. What it did was that it reduced your 30-day cycle for one floor, which we take with conventional technology, and cut it down to 1/3.
Along with the philosophy of growth, Raheja Developers has always believed in bearing its social responsibilities.
The dream is maybe out of these poor children who are destined to be laborers only, maybe somebody studies and tomorrow becomes another Naveen Raheja.
Another first is the slum rehabilitation project in northern India in a public-private participation with Delhi Development Authority DDA, a project that's set to realign the lives of over 2,800 slum-dwelling families. To contribute more to the welfare and environment is one of the future objectives of the company. A future that will see the company surpass its own standards of time-bound delivery and unmatched quality. A future being spearheaded with Executive Director Mr. Nayan Raheja, a musician, an avid photographer, an architect with a vision.
You know, where we think in the future a person should be able to log on to the internet, be able to move within a custom-built mock-up or a sort of a modular home that he can see, sort of like a video game environment. What technology can do today, it could never have done in the past. And what is possible even today is to deliver this home, literally in the true sense of the word, home delivery. The home can be delivered to you in less than 6 months, completely custom built to your requirement. That is the future, and I invite every consumer to come and visit us on any of our sites and actually experience for yourself how this is different from anything else they might have ever seen in India at least.
Strengthened by its glorious past and a consolidated present, Raheja Developers is all set to march into the future, because this journey to greatness has just begun.